Hi, this is Jose Quesada for Data Science Retreat. I'm going to cover here a topic that you may be thinking about. If you are in a big corporation, how do you stay there? How do you make sure that you don't get affected by any of the cuts? So this is kind of a novel sport in big corporations, justifying your existence, making sure that you are not blamed with failure and so on. Some people do this very well. Some people don't have the first clue about how to do it right. So I'm going to kind of tell you anything that I've been able to learn from outside. So I haven't really been inside doing any of these things. So this video is a little bit less solid doesn't come as much from my experience as the other ones. But this is what I've learned from interviewing many people who have been in corporations, right? And people who have stayed at DSR for 3 months, and we have lunch together every day pretty much. Okay, there are 3 steps. You want to be indispensable. How do you become indispensable? You pick a problem, you make sure that once you have the problem, you find some supporter and pitch it to them, and then you go and solve the problem. Ideally, you do the 3 things, but you're probably going to need help from different supporters along the way, right? How do you pick the problem? It must be something that affects the bottom line. So there is no space here for something that is researchy or that is not going to produce value right now because it's just a feature that will add value to the product that you still charge the same for. No. You cannot do that. You have to create something that moves the needle. There is no space here there's no room for ambiguity. Oh, is this actually making the product better? Is this actually making us money? No. This is something that is reducing cost, ideally, as I talked about in the previous presentation. There is nothing better than reducing costs at this point during recession. Okay, then you walk around teams and find what is something that is solvable with current technology. So you're a data scientist, you know what's possible right now. Most people don't. You are on top of every blog, you know the coolest thing that is happening right now. You know that this is possible. Most people don't. And most people have problems in their day operations that you can fix. You have to find them. How do you do that? You have to walk around, have lunches, talk to people, go for coffee, until you find something that is solvable with current tech. And that's important. It's not a research project. It's something very tangible that you can do with existing technology. And once you have that, and everybody agrees, oh, if you solve this problem, this is super valuable, then own the damn thing. This is your problem now. You are known in the company for being the person who is doing this thing. And this is kind of important because, as you will see later, politics play a role here. Okay, so now you have a problem. Beautiful. What do you do with it? You have to go and find, let's call them the ambassador or the change agent of the company. There is somebody in this company that is going to win a medal if he comes to his boss and tells them that they have solved this problem. You need to find that person. It has to be a person that also depends on that for his career, ideally. So there are many political parameters that I don't know too well, but if you are part of a company, you know this for sure. Who are these people? It could be a person in a group. It could be a product manager. If you have them, they are the ones who decide what is valuable and what is not, so definitely talk to them. It could be a product manager in a team that is not yours, so make sure that you make friends with that team first. It could be an innovation manager, or it could be something that I found recently, a head of incubation. All these profiles are easy to find if they exist in the company, and they are there to talk to you. People who are pitching to them internally, employees, they are super valuable to them. There is somebody who is an entrepreneur. This is kind of an invented word, really, but somebody who knows how to create change once they have a solution. Find them. It may be one of these profiles. Those are easy to find. It must be some obscure boss that has been in the company for 20 years with gray hair that can totally smooth the path for your project or your idea to get to the right people. Find that person. Okay, now you have a supporter, you have a problem. How do you solve it? Okay, there are some parameters in solving the problem. It must affect the bottom line, as I discussed here. Super important. You cannot add a cost center. Imagine that you find the craziest technique to turn, let's say you're working for a self-driving car company, and you found a way to turn kilometers during the day into kilometers during the night, and then you can do data set expansion with this. Oh, that's cool, but guess what? It's adding a cost center, and the benefit of maybe cars that can drive better at night is coming way in the future. So you don't want that. You want something that affects the bottom line today. It must be something that you can take to production. You cannot just say, well, we did it, and then we threw it across the wall, and then the engineering guys need to put it in production. Bad idea. It never happens. Or it happens only under circumstances that are outside of your control. You don't want that. Finding internal supporters, which I just brought here as if it was easy, it's actually not that easy. It may be that you're in a company where nobody wants to change. I mean, in Europe, it's actually quite often the case that people fight actively innovation. There are no incentives for innovation, really, and you are trying to pitch something. This is why I'm very adamant on this happening. It has to be something that it doesn't look like innovation. It looks like something that is going to improve the bottom line. Wow, hard to say no to that, right? Don't ever call what you're doing innovation or disruption or anything like that. They don't want that. They want this. They want cost cutting. And one last thing is avoid middle managers. Middle managers try to keep the status quo, and they're going to try to stop you. They're going to lose power if you say automate a few people and then they have a smaller number of people reporting to them. They don't want to hear about that. That's power that they lose. Go up to the point that you are reaching VPs, CEOs, people who are really invested in the company doing better. It could be that those people are easy to reach because the company is not huge. If it's a multinational, you're not going to reach them. Find people who have careers that depend on you being successful solving that problem. Those are the guys who are going to help you. And don't try to do this alone, and don't try to just stay on your keyboard and do nothing. You have to talk to people, you have to find these people.